Welcome to the In-Game Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Evans, a.k.a. your retro activist, a.k.a. your in-game boss. And my second chair, the one and only, always the second chair, Jaron Williams.
Evil Lavaku, what up?
You doing well, buddy?
Oh, just chilling.
I like the shirt, the half, Ant-Man half ants.
Oh yeah. The lady at home, like she says, "Ooh, it accentuates your muscles." And I was like, all right, I'll keep it.
They do say black shirts are very slimming on people.
Yes.
Slimming. So, Curtis, you're a fan
of Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, of my black shirt. No.
Curtis the third, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well.
So, is Ant-Man in your top movies 5? Would you put him in your 5, or is he in your 10?
Top 5, no, but I will always rewatch it.
Okay.
It is funny. Paul Rudd just owns it.
Okay.
Both movies.
Top 5 for you, Curtis?
Top 10.
Top 10. I honestly think, has there only been 10 Marvel movies in general, I want to say?
22.
20?
In total,
22?
there's 22.
You wouldn't know how many. You're such a Marvel
23.
fan.
Well, Spider-Man Far From Home, I guess that would be 23.
Okay, but what about just out of curiosity, just like the first movie of their series? It's a 10 heroes so far? How many? You have Spider-Man, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Hulk.
Black Widow.
Yeah. You got
What?
Black Widow.
Not yet, but yes.
You mean people who had their own movies, or
movies?
Yeah,
like their first initial movies.
Yeah,
their first
Iron
one.
Man, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, unofficially, Incredible Hulk.
Because Hawkeye hasn't had his solo.
No, and I
don't think he'll ever. Yeah,
I'm counting 9.
9. Oh, so close. I was close.
Yeah.
Did you add Black Panther?
Yes.
Okay.
And Guardians as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're one unit. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Close.
But it's. I've always liked the ensemble movies more. Thor Ragnarok really just kicked ass. But what are you gonna do?
Ragnarok redeemed the first 2 movies.
Yeah.
Because the first one was okay. Second one was like, I don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're going.
Second one I've watched once and I've never watched it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just didn't. Not because it was bad. If it was any other movie that wasn't a Marvel movie, it would be okay. Mm-hmm. But your Marvel movie, you got expectations.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So.
Right. But we are a video game podcast. Our goal is to challenge you and challenge us on fun topics most of the show, and we hit you with news and fun segments. But we are part of the In-Game Boss Network, the program, a network of other games and variety shows. And for just to give y'all an update, we do have an arcade show that Jaron and I do. It's called the Cabinet Sessions. And if you're planning to watch, which you should, we have done Captain America and Ninja Baseball Batman. And we're excited for the next one.
On Curtis. A personal note, I loved your Captain America and Avengers.
Oh, cool.
Episode. So nostalgic. That was a quarter eater for me growing up.
Yes. That would eat my $5 arcade allowance.
It's fun to play those games through an emulator, because you finally find out how long those games are.
Mm-hmm.
Because you find out wow, it took me $30 to get through 5 levels. Kind of thing. You know what I mean?
You can brute force them. Yeah, it puts it in perspective. Major.
Right, and then later on when we play more arcade games, I can't wait till we play the longest one we think, and there is no way I will beat this arcade game ever, because it's 20 levels. Are you kidding me? That kind of thing.
Yeah, or I love those you think it's going to be long, and it's wait, it's over? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but that show always comes on. It's always premiere after the day, which I slipped up last week because I honestly forgot, so I had to hurry up and post it. But it always comes on the day after this episode is posted, which is on Tuesdays, and then the arcade one is on Wednesdays. So definitely check it out and everything like that. But just to let you know on updates, Bond wasn't on last week because of 4th of July. Did you guys have a good 4th of July?
Yes.
I stayed in. And made sure the dogs didn't go crazy.
I have a funny story to tell you about 4th of July. But we didn't want to put Bond out there, so it'll be coming out the week that you hear this episode on Thursday, which Curtis is actually our guest on that one as we go into Tomorrow Never Dies.
My favorite Bond movie.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite Bond movie.
Really?
Yeah, actually, it's funny because that's where the title came from. Bond Never Dies. I just took and just put from there. Travis was in debate. He doesn't know, but he thinks it is going to be his favorite too. But it's not over. We still got a lot of Bond, so anything could change.
Yeah, I will listen to that just to listen to why it's you guys' favorite.
Right. Dude, what's your favorite? You took a deep breath there for a second, like, you sure about that kind of deep breath?
All right. It's going to be a split between GoldenEye, of course.
GoldenEye is good. Yeah.
I enjoy it. Jumps right into the action. And I'm going to have to say either Moonraker or Dr. No.
Okay.
Moonraker is fun.
Yeah, I like
it's fun.
I like the fun Bonds. I like,
you like the Roger Moore era, huh?
Sean Connery had some fun too.
That's true.
He wore those
true.
tight shorts and stuff.
But Roger Moore had the iconics. I mean, he had Jaws. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He had
Mayday.
he had the voodoo guy.
Baron Samedi.
Yeah.
He had Mayday.
He had all the weird characters.
Christopher Lee and the Midget.
Yeah.
I will say Odd Job.
No, Odd Job was called no.
Odd Job was but I will say brief piece of trivia. Grace Jones was supposed to be in the upcoming Bond movie. As a different role.
Wait, Grace Jones. That's Mayday.
Yeah.
No, she was supposed to come in as Mayday.
Was it?
No,
you're
right.
She was a different character.
Yeah.
She
And
walked off the set.
I think I posted that.
Wow.
I think I posted on my page. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. I would have liked to see Grace Jones.
Well,
come back.
like I don't know who to blame. Is it her fault for not assuming that she was not going to have a small part, or is it their fault for not giving her a clear indication like we need you as a cameo? I don't know.
Here's the thing: you're an actress, you're a model. You be a professional. She was being a bit of a diva. She's always known for being a diva. Heck, her character in the Eddie Murphy movie Boomerang,
yes,
was
I love Boomerang.
Kind of a lampoon of a little bit of her character.
Yeah.
So, and yes, I love Boomerang. Underrated movie.
It is.
But yeah, so that would have been cool, but whatever.
I'm surprised you didn't put the Spy Who Loved Me, because that one's really good. That's my favorite one out of the Roger Moore. I like that more.
I haven't seen that in a long time. I'm going to have to borrow. I'm going to visit my dad after this, so I'm going to have to borrow some of his Bond movies.
Yeah, check it out, dude.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, I've got almost all. I got them almost all.
That's the premiere of Jaws. Like that's the premiere of like.
Really?
Yeah, Jaws first comes because Jaws is in Moonraker. He continues off, right?
Yeah.
But you need to watch Spy Who Loved Me so you can see where Jaws actually like originated from.
Okay. I remember Jaws mostly from Moonraker. I totally forgot he was in Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah. Dude, he was such a Terminator in the Spy Who Loved Me because he was the guy that just goes after them through the whole freaking movie. And so, but I will say this: I think the Bond girl is better in Moonraker than Spy Who Loved Me. I'll put it like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely check it out and tell me what you think.
All right.
And so, but like I said, Tomorrow Never Dies premieres. We can't wait to hear your thoughts. You think it's gonna be fun? There's 2 more to go after that. And then we go into the Daniel Craig era. Woo. Woo. And if you haven't had a chance, definitely check out our Roger Moore episode. It's only 20 minutes. It's our dedication to Roger Moore. And we talk about like kind of like the 20 facts about Roger Moore as Bond. One of his contracts is he has to have cigars on the set at all time. That's why he smokes cigars in all his films.
Okay.
Yeah. So watch it.
Okay.
It's just some fun facts that we put out there and everything like that.
I dig it.
And so, but let's talk about some games that we're playing. I'm excited. Oh, before that, I forgot to mention Curtis does a show. Curtis, what are you talking about your show? Your Sunday anime show?
I co-host a show with my friend Joni. It's called the Sunday Anime Chat Podcast. The one coming up on the channel and the network is Final Fantasy 15.
Okay.
And then after that is the Death Note episode.
Okay. All right.
Very excited
it'll be
about.
It'll be posted out probably this Sunday coming up as we speak.
Oh, you're talking about Kingsglaive? Final Fantasy 15?
The actual game.
Oh, the game. Okay.
Cheating on that one a little bit. I put in the info bar the line between video games and anime is heavily blurred at times, and this was definitely an example where those two streams crossed.
So have you ever watched the anime short that was before it?
The episode Arden?
I guess so. Whatever it
I
is.
thought it was the
So Kingsglaive was the featured film that came out before it.
Yeah.
And just this past summer, Square Enix did an animated OVA called Episode Arden.
Okay, that's what I mean.
And it was about 20 minutes long, and it was that entire backstory leading
that's
into
what
that
it is.
DLC.
Yeah. So definitely check it out. He has also have a library of other animes that he did. They're all on the network. They're on YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, just like the rest of
1,000
everything on
thank
this.
yous for posting those on the network, by the way.
No problem. You're getting some good hits, so I'm excited. Speaking of that, actually, I want to do a shout out to some of the people that have been listening to to our podcast. We've been getting some hits from a little bit from different countries, but let's see here. So in the world, shout out to Norway and India. I know there's only a little bit of hits there, but thank you for taking a chance to press that button and say why not, if you understand what we're saying. And so
thank you.
Yeah, wow. and then USA, California. Thank you, California.
California representing.
Yeah, thank you. Of course, Oklahoma. I'm glad Oklahoma better be in the top. Yeah, you know what I mean? California's beating y'all by 1. Texas, thank you. New York, thank you. Michigan, thank you. Delaware for one listen, Pennsylvania, Colorado. So thank you guys so much for reaching out to listen to us. Nothing from Australia and Canada. I would love to get a hit from one of those. My goal is at least get one hit in each area. That would just be really cool. Just like I got one.
The sun never sets on the in-game boss program empire.
There you go. There you go. So show your support. Remember to follow and subscribe. Let us know. Maybe in the future we'll talk about like the most downloads in 30 days. I mean, Curtis, you're up there. The most top downloads in the last 30 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So, just keep showing your love and everything. 1993, I believe, get a really good hit. So thank you guys so much for supporting. I really enjoyed that episode. Yeah, it was a good year, good conversation. I can't wait because I can't wait till we randomly pick a year where it's like, wow, there is not a lot that year. I don't know what year that is. Or maybe there'll be surprise years of I didn't know this was this year.
That's otherwise known as the embarrassing year of gaming.
Exactly.
I know we've had a few of those.
Right.
Oh, and thank you for the love on the Your Lie. That's impressive.
Yeah. And so, but they can also see your show also on, is it
Spreaker. Spreaker.com.
Okay. Yeah. So definitely check that. But of course you can find this show and all our shows on YouTube, Spotify, Podbeans, and iTunes. Just make sure you type in the In-Game Boss program. But enough of that. We got a nice, relaxing show for you today. Today is kind of a chill episode. So we're going to be talking about what games we've been playing and games we're just excited for the fall. So just sit back and relax and just, enjoy some fun conversations. I've been hammering to play I've been playing a lot of games. But before we even get to my list, Jaron, what games are you playing recently? I know you've been a busy person. I know you've been Bob the Builder lately?
Yeah, I've been playing the game of play with a lot of wood shop tools. Mm-hmm. So, but when I'm not doing that, I have been knocking out. I splurged and grabbed the Castlevania and Contra Anniversary collections on Switch.
Okay, share some of that. How's that been treating you?
Knocked out. It's been a walk down memory lane for one, especially with Contra. I knocked out Contra and Super C. Working on Alien Wars right now. I'm working through Castlevania. It's harder than I remember.
The first one?
Yes, the very first one. To clear the palette, I'm playing Super Castlevania 4.
Okay.
And I haven't started on Bloodlines yet. Kid Dracula is really fun.
I heard it's fun.
Really fun.
Is it easy though?
It's like a few steps below Mega Man.
Okay.
So it's challenging, but you can get through it.
Okay.
Get through it.
So, in your opinion, going back to those, which one has been the most enjoyable experience? Not even being the game, just in general. What's been the most fun experience for you?
The most enjoyable has been Contra because I have a longer history with Contra than Castlevania.
Okay.
I actually didn't even play a Castlevania game until Super Castlevania 4, and I didn't even play my first NES Castlevania until I was in my adult years. But Contra has all the memories. I played it with my dad. I played it, solo. I played Alien Wars, hardcore. I have the most memories with with Contra games.
Okay. Do you have a favorite Contra? Did that collection kind of broke it down to you at all?
Oh man. So I will say for the longest time it used to be Alien Wars.
Okay.
But I'm
Sega, right?
Or no,
Super.
Hardcore was Sega.
Okay.
Alien Wars was Super.
Okay. Okay.
And someone will say, "Oh, the original Contra." No, Super C. I think Super C is at my top because the level variation. Some of it seems like a remix of the original Contra, but then it quickly just goes in a whole nother direction. Mm-hmm. So the level variation for the NES at the time was good. The boss the boss on top of the boss on top of the boss was very good. You know, hardcore is a close second, just because it just throws everything at you.
So, have you heard the spirit? Well, not the inspiration new Chrome. Yeah,
that Chrome game.
Yeah, dude.
Heard about it. I'm gonna wait for some reviews, but I might pick.
Dude,
it up.
it's been getting some nice little hits there, man. It's been getting some
is
good
it out already?
Yeah, it's out.
Damn.
It came out for the listeners July 11th. So
Okay,
Blazing Chrome, yeah,
Okay.
it looks
It
really
looks like it is
good.
Contra hardcore. Like, I'm looking at some of the screens, it is Contra hardcore.
Yeah, I think
which is not a bad thing.
No, not at all. I'm thinking about picking that one up. The price is pretty steep. I mean, they're asking for $16.
Ooh.
And I don't know how I really feel about that. I feel like, this is maybe like a $10 game.
I mean,
but what I like
that it's that it looks like it was. Is it just 2 players simultaneously?
Okay, yeah, I think it's 2 players. Yeah.
Co-op, yeah.
Okay. I dig. It is.
Wow.
It is definitely Contra.
Yeah.
Honestly, $16 does seem a little high, but I'm sure it'll be on. It's going to go on my wish list, and if I catch it on sale for below 16,
yeah, it's for PS4 and Switch. Where I think it's more for me for Switch.
Yeah, when it's something like this, I'm probably going to grab it on the Switch just because I can play it on the go.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it looks really good. Like for those who are listening, we're kind of watching the Sizzle trailer, and it's got me hyped.
The commercial is awesome.
Yeah,
the commercial is awesome. So it's been a long time since I played Contra. I haven't really played a lot of them. I think the last one I ever played was Alien Wars, and I remember playing it when I was really young, and I remember how hard that game was.
Yes.
The hard ones I had the problem with was the stage where it's overhead.
Yeah, and you have
those are my hardest ones. I just don't get it because like I love the first stage, especially like I think it blew my mind when I was younger where you can climb and shoot at the same time.
Yeah.
And that was just a remarkable thing at the time for me. I'm like, no game has ever done that before.
Yeah. They really touted those Mode 7 graphics. And
Yeah. Where the backgrounds are amazing to look at while you're playing. Like, I think that's what made Super Nintendo really stand out for that generation, because, and Sega did it too, was the backgrounds were very important. Like, if the background look amazing, the game looks amazing.
Yeah, not to mention, I mean, the Super Nintendo version, you had to play the game on hard, on one of the hardest difficulties in order to get the true ending, in order to like actually face the actual final boss.
Right.
Because the last 2 levels is basically a boss rush of all the villains you play over the past 2 Contras. Hardcore, it was fun because you had branching paths.
Now, if I'm wrong, you can tell me, because maybe Castlevania Bloodline done it, but I think Super Nintendo did a really good job when it came to the spiral 3D effect. And what I mean spiral 3D effects is like when you do platforms, but it looks like you're going through a 3D statue that keeps turning.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo did a lot of stuff like that. You know, they did that for Castlevania. They did that with Mystical Ninja. They did all that stuff. I didn't see that a lot from Sega.
Bloodlines had it.
That's what I thought.
When you go up,
and it could be just a Konami thing, because everything I mentioned is a Konami. Like, Konami was really good at that.
They knew how to make the software, the hardware do what they wanted it to do. The Sega, the Genesis could keep up with the Super Nintendo. It's just who was developing for it. You know?
Right. Because, like, there was sometimes, like, the animation in Sega's animation sometimes really stand out more than Super Nintendo
Especially the
did.
sprite work. It was so detailed.
Yeah, because Disney Aladdin that we talked about in the last episode, the 1993 episode, was a great example of that.
It was night and day.
Yeah, it was totally different. I guess I'm wondering, does Contra have that bit of a difference? Does it look more animation compared to?
It's much more. The hardcore is much more frenetic. Like when you start out, it's like bam, going through this truck, ramming into everything, you're blowing everything up, explosions everywhere. Like the first 3 or 4 minutes is explosions, you know, and it's basically like they took all the ideas they wanted to do for Alien Wars, and they're like, you know what, let's throw it in hardcore. So, but the fact of that Hardcore is the first one that has nothing to do with Red Falcon.
Okay.
Like, because the Alien Wars is done. Alien Wars done. Mm-hmm. So this one is now robots.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it is frenetic. It is it just grabs you they know how to grab you the first few minutes.
I think the only Konami game on both consoles, Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis at the time, that kind of close to the same animation was the Team of Ninja Turtles. And that was Turtles in Time against Hypers.
The Hyperstone Heist?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the difference, though, is Super Nintendo was slightly more colorful.
Yes.
Yeah. It had the colors. It was able to run that smoother, but Hyperstone Heist, don't sleep on Hyperstone Heist now.
It's fine. It's just too short.
Yeah.
That's the only problem.
Yeah, Turtles in Time, they had to add the extra levels, add levels because the arcade game was short.
Right. I think it's only because the stages fell shorter. So because like the Turtles in Time, if you really think about it, not a lot of stages.
Yeah.
Just the levels are just long.
Yeah.
You're going from a boat to a train to another thing, and then in Hyperzone, I remember you're going to a cave and then a boat, and then it's over. And they didn't have all the bosses. Like all the bosses, I'm trying to think. I don't know if the alligator was in the
Leatherhead.
Yeah, I don't think he was in the Sega one.
I haven't
He
played
was in
Hyperstone.
Super.
Yeah,
He was definitely in Super.
I haven't played.
He was in the
Hyperstone
train level.
Heist. I haven't played Hyperstone Heist in about a year.
I know
and a half.
Bebop and Rocksteady were in it, but I don't know if they were wearing the pirate costumes as in Turtles.
Yeah, I remember the pirate ship and in Turtles in Time. I think it's Hyperstone Heist. You fight Toka and Razor.
I think so, and I know that
Turtles in Time had Toka and Razor.
Okay.
It was towards the end, probably,
the
right?
SNES version, yeah.
But they didn't have the prehistoric stage. I know the Sega one did not have the prehistoric stage with whatever that other turtle name is. Slash. Yeah. Slash was nowhere to be found in that, which is the hardest guy ever.
Well, they couldn't because it was the time. The Hyperstone Heist was things shrinking, and so they had to keep all the worlds present. I don't know. See, now I'll have to play through the game again.
So overall, the Contra was a good collection. You're satisfied with it?
Contra Anniversary Collection, I'm satisfied. It was a good get.
Okay.
The Castlevania Anniversary Collection, I had some gold coins left over in my on the eShop, so I got $1 or $2 discount on both those games.
I really want those to be physical. I would kill to have those physicals.
It would be nice. I'm sure Japan's going to get it.
Of course.
Or Limited Run is going to say, hey, Limited Run. I'm not going to mess with it unless they do what they did with
No offense with Limited Run, but Limited Run had some need to eat a dick moments for me.
No.
They got some moments like come on,
I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah, I understand Limited Run, but I hate the fact that anytime I think of a game, they did it and it's already gone. Maybe that's just sheer bad luck for me, but it's damn. You guys don't make enough copies to do any... I understand Limited Run, but you're not making even enough copies to make it a Limited Run to me.
Well, I mean, they do average 3,000 or more with, the pre-orders for Toe Jam and Earl. I jumped in on that. Mm-hmm. But with some of the licenses that they get, they only will get the game if they make an X number.
Okay.
So, and they have to make X number to make it... I understand the reasoning why, and they make it a limited run. I'm using air quotes. Mm-hmm. Thing is... You have to. They should acknowledge that some of that is also manufactured.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the people who are buying Mutant Muds Deluxe and things like that, the pixel style retro games, the physical, it's doing that more because you want to collect physical versus I really like this game.
Almost feels like they're taking advantage of that,
the collector mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
You know how many mini consoles are coming out?
I know, man.
We'll cover that in the news section.
Yeah.
But yeah, this collector mentality, it's nerds, geekdom, everything. We are giant open wallets.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
All they have to do is just reach in, to paraphrase Glenn Ross, just take their money.
That's true.
We're dying to give our money to these companies. All they have to do is come out with the right product.
Gotta whip out the remember berries.
Yeah.
So anything? Any other games you've been playing?
I haven't really been playing. Oh, I got the Infinity. So for the Steam sale, I grabbed the Infinity Collection.
Oh, you hit the spring sale.
Yeah.
The summer sale. Sorry. Yeah.
There wasn't too much that caught my eye, but I did grab the Infinity Collection. So I got Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition, Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition, those games. And I'm playing through Icewind Dale, or I was, and it is no Baldur's Gate. It is a dungeon crawl after dungeon crawl, and there's very minimal story wrapped.
Is that a good thing for you, or has it kind of got old?
It depends on the mood. If
Okay.
I'm just in a mood to hop in with second or third edition rules and just chop the hell out of things, sure. But apparently I need to play Planescape because everybody who plays Planescape looks at me like I'm growing horns out of my head because I've never played it before. I need to play that for the story.
So is this a series that you think you'll go all the way in, or you think this is something you'll enjoy and you might drop off at some point?
Icewind Dale, who's to say? We'll see. Because they give you a ready-made 6-person party right off the bat. There are no special characters with personalities who join your party. Your characters, none of your protagonists have a personality.
How old is that game now?
Icewind Dale came out, let's see, Baldur's Gate came out in 95, I believe, 95, 96. Icewind Dale, I think, was 97, 98. So it's almost 20 years, or a good 20 years.
Do you recommend people coming back to play that now as you're going back into this?
If you get it for a good low price, yeah.
Okay.
I'm still have yet to see what's enhanced about it beyond including that DLC.
So wait for a sale?
Like I did, yeah.
Okay.
But Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 enhanced editions, which came in it, but I didn't get it because I already owned them.
Okay.
Those are fun.
Okay.
Those are fun. I have a friend who hates character from Baldur's Gate 2 enhanced, the wild mage Nira, but whatever. I still romanced her, so yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay, awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty much all.
Okay.
Aside from that, it's just been woodworking.
All right, Curtis, what you got, man? What you been playing?
Real quick, Dragon Quest still.
Yep, I see the post.
Oh gosh, I just got to Sniffelheim. Had a mini rant about. Man, I swear to God, this is the premise of Frozen. I guess I'm off to kill Elsa for freezing this town. And kind of freaked out too because at the map on the quest, there's this big end point. It's a circle, and then there's the little out hallway on the map. There's a cutscene right when you get in there. Blizzard picks up, and you get separated from your party. I was like, oh, for the love of Hoth, how did you guys... Really? Really? We got separated in this little section? Bullshit. But it paid off. I still love Dragon Quest 11.
You were saying before we record that you feel like you're only halfway in that game.
I think I'm only halfway.
You met Shinron.
Oh my gosh, in that Frozen area.
I saw that picture.
There is a frozen Chinese dragon, looks just like Shinron. And he's up there, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, Toriyama, this is the most beautiful Dragon Quest Z game I have ever played.
Right.
Other games, though, Trevor, my 6-year-old, we started doing a co-op together of Lego Lord of the Rings.
Ooh.
Okay.
Together.
Okay. PS4?
PS3.
PS3, okay.
He loves it because he can competently play it by himself if he needs to.
Okay.
When I'm at work at night. But we've been going through it. We got to Return of the King last night together.
Okay.
Nice.
And he absolutely loves that game. What's funny about Lego games is like, he says, look at it, it's like, that's for kids. And no, it's really fun gameplay. And Lego Lord of the Rings in particular, really huge world. It really very impressive what they did with Middle Earth. They used the original voice movie lines.
Yes.
They ripped those from the movies and overlaid them to the Lego characters.
Okay.
So it's actually Viggo Mortensen talking as Aragorn, and it's Ian McKellen's performance, Elijah Wood's. It's really great, but it's with that Lego humor too.
Yeah.
Like when Boromir's getting filled full of arrows, it's not arrow, it's like a banana being shot at him like a chicken.
Oh, okay.
And it's great for Trevor because you're 6. You don't need to see a guy getting murdered.
Right.
It is perfect.
So do you think in the future that your son might be interested, or you might interest him to watch the
we
trilogy?
actually started he was so excited to see it on the movie shelf. We actually started Fellowship of the Ring together.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Keep him away from the Hobbit.
Yeah. But Lego Lord of the Rings, probably even to this date, one of the best Lego games.
So at E3 Microsoft showed that there's going to be the ultimate Star Wars Legos, where they're going to go from like episode 1 all the way to episode to the newest movie, right?
Yeah.
Is that something you think your kid would enjoy.
Yes.
Were you thinking about picking that up in the future?
Yeah.
Okay. I honestly, go ahead.
The next game on the list to buy, he has it on a tablet. He has a port of Lego Batman. So I'm gonna pick that up next paycheck on Alpha.
I was gonna say the GTA style Lego game, the one that was
the open world
Lego Undercover.
Yeah, I would think that'd be a cool game for him.
I heard that
That's
was
really
actually a sleeper hit.
Yeah,
well, maybe not a sleeper hit, but it's like a hidden gem.
Yeah, it's on PS4 now. It used to be exclusive to Wii U.
Yeah, it's on the Switch, Wii U, PS4.
Yeah, I don't know about Xbox. Don't quote me on Xbox.
I
But
still need to pick up Lego Avengers, the MCU.
I mean, I'd say skip Lego Avengers, do Lego Marvel superheroes.
That one's great.
Isn't that the one like over 60 heroes?
Yes.
That's insane.
That one is really expensive because you can jump from the helicarrier all the way down to New York City.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... I do enjoy the Lego games to a degree. Lego Batman, the Lego Batman series. I do recommend if you want to take, unless you find it cheap on Amazon.
Okay.
GameStop, not an advertisement. GameStop is having a bit of a sale, especially to compete with Prime Day coming up. So you might be able to find it there because they're really trying to get rid of all their PS3 and Xbox 360 games.
Yeah.
So you might luck out and get something really, really cheap there.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's about it.
So, like, last question for your kid. Is there a game in the future your kid, like, wants to play, but you're like, I don't think you're ready yet, but when time is right, I'll let you play it. Has he hit that mark yet?
Let's see. Gosh. He had pulled it out, and I was like, oh, nope, not yet, not right now.
It's not like a Final Fantasy game or RPG game or any of the sort?
He actually picked up Final Fantasy 13.
You pulled that away for a different reason.
Right.
I was like, no, that's Daddy's game. That's a little complicated. I think you throw the controller across the room.
Right. This is the game that makes Daddy mad. We don't want Daddy mad now, do we? So there hasn't been anything like, like Spider-Man or anything like that? Nothing yet?
No.
Okay.
Just means they're high out of reach.
Right. Well, you mentioned while back he's been playing, he enjoying the Wii, so I didn't know if there's any games on the Wii yet.
On the Wii, he loves, and I have to let him win sometimes. We're still working on you can't win every match.
Yeah.
He started playing Street Fighter with me on the PS4. The Street Fighter collection.
Okay.
So he is an absolute button masher. It cracks me up because there's sometimes I am not a fighting game person, but I love fighting games. He beat my ass with Chun-Li. I was
that crazy leg attack.
Yeah.
And he just corner traps me, and I try getting up in the air. My main's Ryu, and when Chun-Li corner traps you are effed.
Right.
I'm sorry. And yeah, he had me trapped. My wife's just laughing at me like, oh my God, a 6-year-old beat you. I was like, I know. I was not holding back this time.
Right.
Right.
Should have told her, hey, go to your room.
Yeah. Hold hand early controls like, dethrone the champ then. Like, here you go.
But,
okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
He stole 2 matches from me with Chun-Li just button mashing.
Stole
and no, stole, but it felt like, my God, what have you been doing at daycare? Are you the hell?
Well, you said he's been drawing, so apparently he got some inspiration or something.
Holy crap!
Man.
Someone brought a Switch over there. He's been trained with some kid. Darn you, Lewis! If I find that kid at that daycare that Switch, I'm talking to him. I'm talking his parents too.
The game he loves on the Wii is Bleach: The Shattered Blade. It was a Bleach fighting.
I bet you made him love it, huh?
Oh man, he loves it. Yeah, well, he started playing it because he saw Daddy playing it.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, he actually can name off 3 Bleach characters, which is really impressive." We were in Walmart and he pointed, Daddy, that's an Ichigo." It's like,
Ichigo.
Wow.
He makes sound like a Pokemon. That's the Ichigo.
Yeah, that's more characters than I can name off for Bleach, and I've actually watched a few episodes. I can't remember them. So many.
Lastly, he's got really interested in Dragon Quest Swords, which was exclusively on the Wii.
Yeah, man, that's an old game. That was like in the early launch series.
Dragon Quest Swords was a first-person on-rails sword slashing game. Your Wii remote was both your sword that you would fence, stab, slice, diagonal, up, left, right, and it was also your shield as well. You would hold down the B button, and it would raise up the shield.
And that's so weird because you would think the nunchuck would do it, right? Yeah.
But yeah, so the reason why it's with the Wii remote is certain attacks can be blocked if you don't hit that spot. Like the sweet spot of the shield is the very center.
Okay.
If you hit the corner of it, it'll wear out the durability of the shield. So it's important that you follow the dots on the screen.
Oh, okay.
And block in the sweet spot.
Okay.
Other than that, he's on a big Dragon Quest thing. Anything
I wonder
Dragon
where you got
Quest.
that from.
I have no idea why. See my 45 hours of Dragon
He watches
Quest.
you play Dragon Quest.
Yes,
11,
he
right?
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just staring. It's like, this daddy's smiling.
So I've been playing games. I technically took a week and just like try to catch up on a lot of games in my library. So I have like a bunch of games that I've gone through. Last time I talked about Shantae. That was playing that one. I beat that one. I think so far that's probably, I'm debating if that one or Risky's Revenge is one of those is my favorite out of those two. But the animation in the new one is just phenomenal. Like they do a good job of when stuff needs to be 3D and what stuff needs to be like 2D. And so I think they did a really good job with that. The game is short, but all Shantae games are really short if you really think about it.
Yeah.
And so, but particularly on this story, it was interesting because she got fired from being. Now, if people haven't played Shantae, she plays a genie that basically is a guardian of a town.
Half genie.
Half genie. Sorry, half genie. That is a guardian of this town. And in this new one, she actually gets replaced by another girl that's a genie. I won't spoil it for you, but she gets fired and she's trying to figure out and she's trying to get her job back. But then also, secretly, you find out too that she gets connected to the genie realm. So you get a little bit of a story about what happened to her mom per se, and everything like that. But same thing. Risky is the villain of it all and everything like it's traditional. But just the animation is beautiful. Way Forward is phenomenal with their animation. You might not be a fan of the DuckTales game, but that animation is beautifully done. They helped do Bloodstain.
Yeah.
They really help with the 2D stuff. Like honestly, at the point, I would love for them to do Mega Man.
Okay.
I would love for them to do Mega Man because Shantae's gameplay on certain parts remind me of Mega Man.
I was about to say it.
Yeah.
Switching between different powers or dances.
Yeah. And the genie, that's what I think I like about it is the switching to the different animals that you can be, and certain animals you have to use to go into bonus, like secret places and figure out puzzles and everything.
Yes.
It's a great one. That's why I was debating, like, that's a cool character to have Smash Brothers because she has so much variety. Not only fight with her hair, but she can turn into different things to fight. Like in this one, she can turn into a bat, a harpy, an elephant, a mermaid, all this kind of stuff. So I thought she'd be a great competitor about it. Now, there's a fun rumor theory that the Studio Trigger, the people that did, Girl Ligan, which
Kill la Kill, Little Witch Academia.
So that studio is actually doing the opening of the 5th one that's been announced. It's supposed to come out this year, they said, but I think it's going to be pushed back to 2020.
Yeah.
But
too much coming out this year.
Yeah, so they did a bunch of clips, and one of the secret clips was she was waking up in this window. Looks familiar because, like most windows, probably in a hut or a cave, it's mostly just a traditional cross. But this one was different because it was more of a cross, but it was in the lower. If you're looking from the inside, it's in the lower right, but it still has that familiar Smash Brothers logo.
Yeah.
Which, people are having fun theories with it. I don't think she's going to make it there, but how awesome would that be if she did make it?
I don't know. That just seems too intentional.
Yeah. It's definitely. They know how to work the fans.
Yeah.
They know how to work the fans.
Yeah. But and it's funny because she is an assist in there, but kinda. Or a spirit. She's a spirit in some kind of way. I don't think she's an assist. I think she's just a spirit.
Yeah.
I honestly think she has the great library of moves. I think she'd be a great contender for this. I think she deserves to be in this spot, in my opinion. People wouldn't see it coming, but at least she wouldn't be a character with a sword. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
you really don't like those sword.
Characters.
No, I have no problem with sword. I just don't want like 20 of them. Think about it. Like you have Cloud, you have Dragon Quest, you have the Fire Emblems, you have you have Meta Knight,
the Links. There's
so many swords, but like there's no alternative. Like at least Link has a variety of bombs and other varieties. Marth and all of them, it's all about like how hard you hit.
Cloud as well, yep.
Yeah, it's all about how hard you can hit. There's no special backup.
Or counter, yeah.
Yeah, but Shantae, fighting with a hair is cool, unique. That's a cool combo way. Her charge attacks or her genie transform, I think she would just work fine. But
she has the pool. She has a depth.
Yeah. I think she'd just be fun just to play with. But another game I played is called Gato Roboto. This is basically
Metroid.
Yeah, or cat. Meowtroid. That's it. Meowtroid.
Meowtroid.
Yeah. So it's a Meowtroid, and for people that don't know, it's a game where you're actually a cat that gets into a power suit, and you're stranded on this planet. And the funny story about it is basically that you're the space captain, and what happens is you had your cat with you, but your cat got on top of this one of your gadgets, and you crash landed on the planet because your cat messed with some devices and stuff like that. So you're stuck and your leg's broken. So your cat, you have to connect with his cat to go get this stuff. So the cat found the power suit, and he is just like traveling around this different area, and you find a story about why he's finding a mice and all this stuff. It's a fun game. It only takes about 3 hours to beat. It's a very, very short game. The one thing about this game, though, it has a very, very hard difficult spike. Mm-hmm. And when I mean hard difficult spike is like Metroid, when you destroy somebody, you either get like maybe missiles, you get health. You don't get none of this. Like, you destroy it. You don't get implemented. Like, the only way you refill your life in your life in general is you have to find a save pod. That's it. So if you get hurt, you got to make sure you make it to the next save pod or go back. Your rockets regenerate. You can shoot I think at the beginning you can shoot 2 at a time, but then you have to wait for it to fill up again and you can shoot it. It's one of those pressure things.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can deplete it, but you have to wait for it to fill back up and then you can shoot again. But going through that game, there's a lot of enemies that just come at you. It's not hard. The boss fight is the hardest, only because the boss fights have the bars like a Mega Man boss battles with each little line. Yeah. And it sucks because each hit feels like you're only taking 2 bars off. Yeah. So like the fights can go long, and it's one of those you can't mess up. I think I had to redo a couple of fights about maybe 5 or 6 times for each fight because they're long.
So does it feel like a fair difficulty, or do you feel like the length of the game is artificially inflated by the difficulty?
I think the difficulty hurts a little bit because your life bar is not like that. Like, your life bar is more of like you have 4 hits and you're dead. Yeah, it's kind of like that. But while they're sitting here on the longest bars, and I think the even out is there's only really max 4 boss fights.
Okay.
Right, 2 or 3.
4 boss fights against a damn mouse.
Yeah, and the mouse comes at you with like so many different things. There's one you'll fight underwater, and you'll fight in like a submarine because he gets out of his suit. Because you have to get out of the suit to get through these little crevices to get around stuff. He can swim, but the suit can't swim, so you have to get out for that. There's one part where it's probably one of my favorite parts of the game where you're in the situation where you have to go through this whole section as a cat. So as you're a cat, one hit and you're dead. Yeah, kind of thing. So that scene was pretty cool because you have to really think outside the box and everything like that. Okay. But you get your normal, like you can get a faster charger shot. You get a spin bounce attack. It's not like a screw attack. It's more of like if you spin, you can bounce off of somebody. It still hurts them, but it doesn't completely kill them. But you can spin, bounce on enemies, and you can probably get across stuff real easily. There's one part you have to bounce on enemies to get into this bonus area, and the only bonus extras they have is these little palettes that will change the filter of your game. So like, if you want to play it in icky Game Boy mode, you can find the palette for that. If you want to find the Virtual Boy, like it's all red, you can find a palette for that. Okay. If you want to find it in an ugly Game Boy Color back in the day thing, you can find a palette for that. But it's traditionally black and white. But I do recommend it. It's only $7.
Okay. Yeah. It's a fair price. I mean, it is another retro pixel style game, but I'd like that because I was our guest last week, DC. I was actually watching him play it.
Oh, the game? Yeah.
And I actually liked it. It was a different take on things.
Yeah.
So, okay,
yeah.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, I would love a follow-up to that game. Just kind of work on the balance of the difficulty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, work on that because nothing's worse than fighting a boss for because each fight can last you about 5 minutes. And losing It's another 5 minutes you have to put on the right. The good part, though, I like it, is the save spots are right next door to when you go to a boss fight.
Okay.
So you're not going through a giant travel to get back to the boss again.
Okay, yeah.
So that's a good thing.
That would make the game very unenjoyable.
Yeah. So I recommend that. Gears 4. So I'm in Game Pass. I beat Recore. Recore was a good game at the beginning, but then it kind of fell short at the end. Curtis, you have something?
No, I was about to ask you your opinion on
Yeah.
Recore.
Yeah, I was curious.
The only reason why is I feel like the developer's concept, and those are the same people who were Kine Inafune, the people that did Mega Man and all that. It felt like they ran out of ideas at the end because the end part was really nothing but going up this tower. And you have to go to start to beat this final boss. And it was kind of like the Bruce Lee kind of film.
Yeah, Game of Death.
Yeah, Game of Death. Except like they're hitting you with... Okay, so it's mainly platforming. You're platforming, and then halfway you're in a boss room. And you're in a room where a bunch of enemies come at you and you have to beat them. Clear that room, you go more platforming. So each level... they're hitting you with more difficulty and all this stuff, and you can jump and dash and all that kind of stuff. But I'm the traditional gamer where 3's enough, but in this one they give you 5, so it gets very tiresome. So here I am. I'm like, okay, I'm rocking out some rock and roll music or some music and getting through this, and I got through it, but it was tedious and it got old really, really quick. It felt
a game you'll revisit.
No, and I'm glad I got on Game Pass because it had potential. Like, the beginning half was good, but I feel like they just run out of steam at the end. Like, it's like you guys focus too much on this and not trying to give us great moments. Because I like the idea, because the AI partners are awesome. They're responsive. They attack when you want to. They're there for you when you need for a situation. Great. Feel like they didn't utilize it great enough.
Okay.
Because the dog is awesome. I love the dog. And honestly, I didn't know where, like... I thought it was one of those things like this ball is your energy and you could transform into other things, but it's more like you find other orbs and then they become that animal or something like that.
Okay.
And so the only bad part about that game I really dislike is you can only have 2 animals at a time, but your max is 3 orbs. So like, why can I not have 3 orbs on the Switch?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you have your dog, you have your spider, you have a gorilla type. Oh, sorry, you have 2. You have a little bird flying one, and then you have like a dump truck, like a Toka truck or whatever you want to call them back in the day toys. And the max you can get 3 orbs, and you can switch them out. There's a yellow, blue, and red, right?
Yeah.
And I'm at the point where I'm like, why 2? If the max orbs I got is 3, why don't you just let me switch to 3? Why just 2?
Huh.
So because like it's tedious because there's a certain if you go into a certain room and you need this creature. I got to go back to this thing, switch them out to go do this, and it'd be better if I just have all 3. Because all 3 of them are not rolling with you at the same time. You have to switch them on the fly. So, like, the dog will be with me, but if I need the dog, I switch to Spider. Spider's with me now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there is just a lot of mistakes.
Down.
Yeah, and I think the Switcher 2 is just doesn't work for me. I think it's just like now if you have 1,000 orbs, I get it. 2, fine. But if you only 3 is max, switch it to 3.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like Metroid. Like, you get rockets. Let's say you have rockets, the grappling hook, your Mega Buster, all this stuff. Oh no, I got better yet. Link Awakening in the old days. Here's your giant arsenal.
Yeah.
And you're going to carry 2 at a time.
But you can switch them out whenever you need.
Yes, but in this game, you have to go to a dock.
Oh.
To do it. You can't do it on the fly.
Well, that's
you have to go to a dock to switch these things.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of the other Legend of Zelda games where you check out items. You check out
exactly.
items.
When Link no. That was Link Between Worlds did that. Yeah.
You could eventually
rent them basically, right?
Even then you could eventually buy them permanently.
That's right. But this one, yeah, I didn't really care for it. Do I recommend it? If it's Game Pass, yes. I say give it a swirl. Because the Definitive Edition is probably the best one.
Yeah, nobody's paying for all that extra
Yeah,
DLC.
but Gears 4, I'm feeling Gears 4. I really like Gears 4. I like it better than 3. I didn't like Gears 3.
I have yet to play Gears 3. I played Gears 1, Gears 2. I have 3. I haven't started it yet.
I didn't really care for it. I think there was a lot of mishaps, a lot of mistakes they'd done with the game. But 4, I really like 4. Now, they don't have the ragtag close group as, Felix, I think it's Felix.
It's Marcus Phoenix.
Phoenix, sorry.
Yeah,
Dom, Coltrane, and
Baird.
Baird.
Yeah.
Not that type. But this cast is okay. It's okay because Phoenix is in it, but I'm glad because the game where I'm at, Phoenix is not all in it. He's in it for a little bit, then he's gone for a while, and then he comes back. I like that because I don't want Phoenix the whole time. Like Phoenix had his moment. Sit back, let these new kids on the block do it.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, I like this one a lot because one, it's way more colorful. The colors come out a little bit more, instead of like the dark grungy, which
they took notes.
Yeah. The guns are awesome in this one because like you're not dealing with the locusts so much because in the story in this one the locusts do come back, but I do like that the replacement is like the dividing between the cogs and whatever. If you catch up with the story, you'll understand. But now they're dealing with the cogs like robots in this mix, also dealing with the locusts coming back. And what I tell you, what I like about this game is in this game we're seeing how these locusts are being created. That's what's fascinating about this game.
Okay, they go deeper into the lore.
We're seeing the making of them as you're playing. Like you find out halfway in the game where this locust nest is. And while you're going in there, you're seeing these pods. You're seeing how these creatures are evolving into these things instead of just because in the first Gears you're just seeing you're just seeing them different ones come out, right? You're not seeing them actually evolve. Like you're seeing these creatures like kind of evolve and coming out and like, oh, okay, that's second evolution. Okay, here's a third evolution. Oh, this is how the sniper class got created. So like you're seeing this evolution of these characters, and I think that's what's so fascinating. Okay. Which I wish the second one did a little bit more because second one you're going down deep under because you're trying to go rescue, spoiler, Dom's wife. Mm-hmm. And you're seeing the cave, but you're not seeing so much of the development. Yeah. If I'm wrong, email me at ingameoffice@gmail.com or talk to me on Facebook if say I'm wrong.
The origins sound a lot like how the Darkspawn in Dragon Age came about. Like this class of Darkspawn is from this class or this race, and so etc.
Yeah, and I think it's good for people that are coming in the 4 and never played the old ones because this is kind of giving them a history of like here it is coming back. Which in the first game, you're in the beginning of 3 scenes. And it's a story talking about like how the first three games got established. Okay. So you're playing as one of the one of the other soldiers in historical moments between the first one, second one, and third one. And it's more of a training. You're getting used to your gunplay, but that's the way they do it. So you're
jumping off.
Yeah. And you die in each one, but you're in the moment of something that happened like in the first one. Then you're in a moment that happened in the second one, and you're a moment in the third one. So I really like it. I think I'm almost close to the end, but I'm having a great time with that. I would love to see how 4 players does it, but like I really like this 4th one. I'm excited how the 5th one's gonna go because they're changing the protagonist to the girl. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it sounds like something if I ever get my hands on an Xbox One, I'll have to pick up, or I'll try and mess with it on the computer.
Mm-hmm. I'll hurry up because we're almost halfway in the show. But Curse of the Moon, I'm almost done with that. That's kind of like the prequel to Bloodstain.
Yeah, the Ritual of the Night.
Yeah. Borderlands 2, we're on the 4th DLC out of 6.
Nice.
So we're trying to get through that before 3, which... I'm probably sure I'm not going to get 3 when it first comes out. I'm going to say it right now. I think I want to focus just trying to hurry up and get my other library of games are going. I also been playing this game called I cannot pronounce it. I think it's called Iconoclash. That's one of my favorite.
The Iconoclast?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably my favorite game this year. That's I think it's my favorite game this year, even though it's a 2018 game. I wish I played it a long time ago, and this is why I add limited run in the conversation because there was a limited run edition. I was like, I wish I owned this physical copy. This is a game that is a Metroidvania style game to me, but it has such a Sega feel with a Gunstar. Does that
nice?
You know what I mean?
That's an interesting mix.
Yeah. I'll have to show you on the break, but I love that game. You're this girl that's a mechanic. Your ability is wrenching and fixing stuff, but like it's just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. Jaron, I think you have to play. I recommend on the Switch or the PS4. It's a phenomenal game. But when I show you, you'll see what I mean. It has that Sega feel. It kind of has that Gunstar Hero Sonic background stuff.
More frenetic action.
And just the animation, the character art just feels very Sega-ish. Yeah. You'll see what I mean on that. And then
another Divinity, haven't you?
Huh?
You still playing Divinity?
I don't have enough time to talk about Divinity. We're still at the beginning of it, so I don't have enough information. Okay. That's another long saga to talk about.
I picked it up on. That was the other thing I picked up on.
Steam, 1 or 2.
I didn't start it. Divinity Original Sin 2.
Okay, because I got both. Okay. Well, then we'll add you to the group. You can play with us.
Let me dig some more time out of the ether, but yes, I wouldn't mind playing.
Dude, we're taking our time with it. We only play it when Nam is in town.
Okay.
Yeah, so like if he's gone, like you could take a month off probably, and then we'll come back to it again. Yeah, that game is long, so we're taking our time with that game. But my little cousin and I, we've actually been playing Pokemon Pinball.
Nice.
He likes Pokemon a lot, and I don't play a lot of Pokemon, but we thought it'd be cool to play the pinball game because your goal in the pinball game is to capture Pokemon while you're playing pinball.
Yes,
Wow.
So
yes.
it's fun. It's a
Yeah.
fun game.
Yeah.
Catching 200 is going to take a while. But
Yeah.
every time he comes over, that's the game we'll play for a little bit. We talk smack of like we're in a race of like who can capture the most in our each turn. So I think I'm up ahead by 2 Pokemons than him. So he has to catch up. But it's sad because like if you lose and don't catch anything, it's a smack talk. It's a smack talk. That's like, man, you need to step your game up. And it's hard because like the big ones are easy to catch, but the small ones because they roam around and you know your ball is trying to hit it because you got to hit it like 3 or 4 times to capture it. So it's been tough.
Yeah,
Okay.
Brandy's been playing Pokemon Pinball off and on as well. She loves that game.
I wish
Especially
more.
with the
I wish more
battery and the
pinball
rumble.
games. Yeah. Oh, the Rumble bet is awesome.
Yes.
I wish more games took advantage of the pinball style and do it their own way.
Well, Sonic Spinball for every Pokemon Pinball, you have a Sonic Spinball,
Yeah.
and a Mario Pinball.
And these are the Kirby ones too. I heard the Kirby ones are pretty good.
I have not played one of the Kirby ones yet, but I'll have to give that a shot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, let's take a break and we come back. We're going to talk about games we're excited for this fall. There's a lot, especially September. We'll talk about that. Oh, and also the news. I forgot. We need to get to. I forgot. We got to talk about the news. All right. We'll be right back. Okay. So, who is your favorite James Bond?
Oh, Sean Connery, hands down.
Why?
Because he was the first. He was the best. He's the foundation for all the James Bonds.
Well, don't you believe can be like better Bonds that can improve off of Sean Connery? It doesn't mean like he's the best. Like Pierce Brosnan, I think, is like the most well balanced one. I think he's the jack of all trades.
I think the key word there is improve upon. He's the foundation. He's the beginning.
Do you think? What do you think about Roger Moore then?
Roger Moore, he's okay. He's a little more goofy. Not as cool as Pierce Brosnan, but not as stoic as James.
But he has cooler gadgets, don't you agree?
I think you need to go back and watch Sean Connery.
I think you need to go back and watch Pierce Brosnan,
I think we need to go back and watch them all.
including Timothy Dalton and Daniel Craig too.
All of them.
Okay, all right. What should we need a name for this? What do you think? What should we call it?
Well, the fact of the matter is Bond never dies.
All right, Bond never dies. And welcome back. I'm your host Jeremy Evans, along with Jaron Williams
It's up.
and Curtis III.
Hey there.
So, before we even talk about our games that were hyped for fall, which I swear, I don't know, maybe it's just my mind. Do you feel like that we're getting more games and more games by the year, or do you think just 2019 has been like a lot more than what 2018 and 2017? What do you think?
Well, I mean, we are getting a lot. There's a lot coming out, but you have to think of it this way. Think of it like the movies. There are hundreds of movies that come out every year, more than hundreds.
Yeah.
And Hollywood spends millions and millions of dollars in marketing on a lot of them just to get you to go to the theaters.
Okay.
How many movies do you think an average person sees in a year? So, yeah, there's a lot of games, but I think it seems like a lot because we are only going to buy, a small handful of them right off the bat.
Well, I will say September, out of all the years, September has never been this busy I've seen. October last year was the busiest.
Yeah.
It almost was more busy than November. November's always been the busiest.
Yeah.
Because of Black Friday and whatnot.
I mean, this November's busy too, but...
Yeah, but September has never been this busy. And because Borderlands 3 was the first one to be announced for September, and everything just started crowding over that. I mean, especially one of the news that we're going to be talking about that's coming out in September. Did you like how I did that? Yeah, thanks segue, right? The Nintendo Switch Lite got announced. And it'll be coming out in September, and it'll be about $200. Now, it's only been announced in Europe, but I think it's going to be everywhere regardless. Yeah. But it's coming out with 3 colors. There's a gray and a yellow and a turquoise. It's a little bit smaller than the Switch, but not too small. But some of the features, just to warn people that need to know, one, it does not connect to your TV.
So
handheld only.
Handheld only.
Yep.
So there's no tabletop.
No docking station.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure third party will come out with that stuff.
Yeah. It's a full handheld. Joy-Cons do not detach. Joy-Cons can still be used for it if you want to play games like want to switch in Super Mario Party if you want to.
Imagine like
Or
a
Just
giant
Dance.
PSP.
Just Dance is on there too.
Yeah, the PSP or the Vita.
More of the party games. So you want to play more party games, then you're gonna have to get extra Joy-Cons. There's still 32 gigs internal in that thing. The screen is slightly a little bit smaller. The battery life is not a huge difference.
It's like an extra hour.
Yeah, like I said, like depending on the game, of course. But I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I left out of there?
So the Switch Lite is also getting a Pokemon edition for Sword and Shield.
Yes.
Which that is exactly why it's coming out. It's going to move units for Sword and Shield.
Yes.
And the Switch Lite the screen is still 720p, but because it's a smaller screen, it's going to be sharper. The graphics, everything's going to look a lot sharper.
everything's in a smaller screen because all those pixels are going to be just tight.
Yeah, and if I may, when the news came out, there was a
let's hear everybody's opinion on this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll make it very to the point. There was way too much bitching and moaning about it's handheld only, and you can only do that. Yeah, fool, it's a Switch Lite. You already own a Switch. Don't worry about it. Or if you don't have it, get a Switch. It's like, I certainly hope there's a Switch Pro. Hey, they do have a Switch Pro. It's called the Switch.
By the way, if you haven't heard, there's a news about there's supposed to be an update on like the chips and all that kind of stuff.
Like a hardware revision.
Yeah. So I'm not calling it a Pro. I just think it almost feels like the next shipments of Switches will have that or something.
That's pretty much what it's going to be. You know, it's Nintendo. It's not even 3 years into the Switch's life cycle. They're not going to do that. And everybody's whinging and moaning. It's like, I don't know. That just doesn't look like it's for me. It's like half the people who are doing that are people who already own a Switch, but they're not understanding. A good portion of them aren't understanding. Listen. It's $200, $199.99.
He got his leg kicked up. He's ready to talk.
Yeah, it's $199.99. Now you have to think about those parents that they want to get their kid, a Switch.
I was going to say it feels more towards family having kids.
$199 is a lot easier to swallow than $299.
The barrier for entry is a lot.
Exactly.
And if I'm correct, it is now the cheapest console per se
current gen,
because the SAT edition for the Xbox is around that price too.
It's $250.
Okay, so the Switch Lite is the cheapest now.
Yeah, and here's the thing: you can still use physical media with the Switch Lite.
You can.
So and that's the other thing. It's like it's handheld. It's handheld and it's durable. Nintendo makes durable things. And let's say you have a family of 2 kids. It is a lot easier to swallow $400 for 2 Switches than $600.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
$400, that's a PS4 Pro. Or that's 2 Switch Lites. Or that's a Switch Lite and a bang of solid games.
Well, even still, like $500 doesn't sound bad if you want to like an original Switch or 2, right?
Yeah, but as Curtis said, the barrier entry is a lot lower.
It's a lot more palatable. Yeah.
And maybe we'll see some action from Curtis on Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition with that Switch Lite.
Doesn't that come at fall too?
Yep. Nintendo knows what they're doing. They're still playing chess. People are still thinking like it's checkers. Nintendo's playing chess. So I think it's a good move. Will I get one? I don't know, but it gives me a lot to think about.
That's the thing. I think this is towards people that don't have Switches yet and wondering is this more for me or the other Switch, right? Am I a traveling person? Will this fit more than I have? Now, other things I forget to add is it doesn't have the HD rumble, which I don't think a lot of people really cared about, or the high sensor thing.
The gyroscopic.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people really care about that. And there was one other thing they made. You can transfer save files to each one.
They won't out and out say cloud saving, but
you can. Now the cloud saving, that's a tough one. So I don't know how that's going to work unless you don't pay for the service.
They haven't released details, but chances are you're going to need the Nintendo
But
Switch
on IGN
online.
right now, there's a Q&A that Nintendo answers some questions, so you're welcome to look it up. I think I posted on my Facebook page, if you care to look, that they answer some of the more important questions or tell you how there's links to send you like how to do step by step, when the time comes and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think the only one thing I kind of disagree is I wish it did have the ability to connect your TV, not docked, but if it still can connect it via like a cord. And I'm pretty sure third party is going to figure that out. They're going to do it. I still think that should be at least there. You don't have to dock it. I don't care about the docking, but if you can still connect it some way for, say, you want to charge it, that'd be another good way to do it or connect it there. That's just one small thing. But other than that, I think you're getting what you're paid for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
you're not missing any graphical differences, like other than of course the party kind of games. But you're still playing Odyssey, you're still playing Mario Kart, you're still playing,
it's
Breath of the
for
Wild,
a more
all that
solitary
kind of
experience. You can still do multiplayer, but it's a solitary experience. Not to mention, guess how much a Nintendo dock is if you want another dock?
I think it's $80.
Yeah, $70 to $80.
Oh,
you know. So there you go.
That's
right
the
there.
difference there.
Yeah, that's the difference there. And the Joy-Con technology is separate and still operate. You know, Joy-Cons are still $60, $60 to $70.
And but I think based on different stats and everybody's been saying, but I think the majority of people do play the game more on the Switch in general on the go more than at home.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, and for those who already own a Switch, congrats. You don't have to, get this one. I mean, some people were thinking about it like, for example, hypothetically, let's say you are get a Switch Lite. You could pop one of your games in, or if you have it on the eShop, play out in your den, and then when you're ready to go to bed, my Switch Lite is on the nightstand. Let me just continue playing the game. That would be great. But for people who already have a Switch, what do you have to worry about? I don't know. We were talking about it before the show started. People having this problem between expectations and reality and freaking out. It's like, you can expect all you want, but the reality of it is going to be different.
Because look at the last 3DS, the 2DS. That sold gangbusters because you realize a lot of people didn't want to use a 3D that much as people thought they did.
3D was cute, but you know what? I bought the 2DS.
Yeah, it felt like an extra feature, and I think that's what it is. Like, Switch is cool as an extra feature, but I think it was handheld first, console second to me.
Yeah. And
so,
the fact people are saying, why are you still calling it a Switch? It doesn't switch from handheld to TV. It's like, it's
we're really going through the weeds.
Wow.
We're really going through the weeds there.
They're stretching.
They just want to hear the snap. They're not getting the snap. They want that.
They're pulling their muscles reaching so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nintendo knows what they're doing. It's like they had how many missteps in their game career? 2, Virtual Boy and Wii U, kind of.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. I would get this only if I'm planning to travel more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't trust my good Switch to go.
Yes.
Yes. Especially that's my baby. That's always going to be number one. But the number 2, I'm not going to be upset if something happens to it. Yes, $200 down the drain, but it's better than my $300 and more. Actually, well, the games is probably a $500 console now with the games installed, right?
Especially since you have to hunt down the eShop and get it all back.
Exactly. And I think I would also use the other Switch for like other games that like maybe I don't really care so much about, but like, hey, I forgot I had this game on here. I'll play it on my next trip or something like that. But right now, I like the colors. If I had to pick one right now, I'd probably go with the yellow. But before you were here, I was showing Curtis a lot of people's different mock-ups. There was like a Super Nintendo. There was a Nintendo. There was a GameCube one. There was a Donkey Kong.
The Famicom.
The Famicom is phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's the one I want.
I mean, there are going to be so many accessories.
But that's the thing, though. Nintendo doesn't really go too far about those other things. Like, remember when the Wii came out? When's the last time you saw a red, the green, and blue, and all those ones out? Never.
Yeah, I mean,
the Wii U, black and white.
Yeah, Nintendo got the whole crazy, fantastic thing out of their systems with the N64, the GameCube, because Japan always got the cool, different color stuff, and the Game Boy Advances and DSs.
But you know what, Jaron? I actually take that back because they did.
3DS.
Well, that's the point. 3DS got a lot of additions, so maybe the Switch will get that kind of stuff. Yeah. But then again, the question is, will they do the ones we really care about, the Nintendo one, or they'll do it off a theme of another thing, like the Pokemon? Well, are we going to get something like? I think it was a missed opportunity for Link Awakening. Like,
right?
Where's the Link Awakening one? I bet you there'll be a Metroid one.
I mean, the last Link themed thing or Zelda thing themed console they did was the 2DS for Ocarina of Time.
I bet they'll do Breath of the Wild too. There will be a special Switch edition for that.
Ooh, man. Well,
Because I know
good.
because it's easier for them to do it for a Switch Lite and then only do designs for the Joy-Cons for the original one. I think that's what they've been planning the whole time. And
I mean, they could go in all sorts of different directions for it, and they know that it'll sell. But I like the yellow one as well.
But yeah, right. But the thing, the biggest thing on that thing, everybody loves so much, and it's sad because it's not coming on the Joy-Cons in the future, is the D-pad. The D-pad is awesome. It looks amazing. We're excited for a D-pad. Wow, we are nerd gamers. We're excited for a D-pad. Has a D-pad. What about the graphics? Forget the graphics. It's the D-pad.
Yeah, the D-pad's back. The D-pad's back.
That's so Nintendo. Okay. But they said future Joy-Cons are not going to have that, and it's kind of sad. But I honestly think with enough yelling and bouching, I think people are they're gonna big, unless Bowser is that big of a villain. Shout out to Doug Bowser.
It's still too early to tell how much he's listening to everybody.
Right.
It's I don't know. The Switch Lite is going to sell gangbusters. Make no mistake about that. It's going to sell, especially coming around the holidays. That's essentially saying, hey, this is a price cut. It's a price cut without a price cut. You know? And Nintendo's probably going to put icing on the cake. It's like, hey, guess what? Switch this holiday only $50 lower.
So you don't think they didn't make any mistakes?
They made some mistakes, but they're not nearly as big as people are making them out to be.
For the Lite, so you think it's bigger than it is?
I think people are making things out to be bigger. The mistakes bigger than what they actually are.
Because you know what made a big mistake lately? This Final Fantasy VII mistakenly coming on this Xbox. the promo, right? So apparently there was an article, I think it was like an ad or something like that Final Fantasy VII was coming for Xbox, and it was a mistake. And if I was an Xbox fan and I saw that and walked off and didn't look for the finish, follow that, I would be upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be upset, and then you'd be like, well, I guess I better go buy a PlayStation 4 like I should have.
Yeah, so right? Oh.
Yeah, shots fired.
So for the people that want to know, Square Enix and Sony both came out saying this is exclusively to Sony, nothing else. But let me ask you this, Curtis. You're Final Fantasy VII. Do you think is this a missed opportunity? Shouldn't they just go ahead and just put it on both?
I'm surprised Square is making an exclusive for Sony. It kind of surprises me since the last main entry was both consoles. Like 15 was both consoles, 13 was both consoles.
But do you think they're doing 7 because this whole the nostalgia that was
I think so.
left off for that?
I exactly
it's
think
weird,
so.
Right? Because this is the same thing with Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 3 came in there, but they're never getting the Story So Far collection or any of the old ones on there.
Nope.
So it's such a weird situation. I think it should go ahead and come out about why not make more money.
It is.
They'll do it when they're ready. Like it's probably timed exclusive. And
it's not gonna. I doubt that. The way they're doing this,
throw enough money.
It's either they came out both at the same time or don't do it all. It's these episodes, man. I don't know. Curtis, I'm sorry. I feel like you have some words.
It's funny you even mentioned that because Sony and Square are like these two old divorcees, just back and forth. And 7's like that child from the old custody battle.
Right.
Like, no, it's on ours.
Man. What does that make Square and Nintendo?
Everything else is not.
Nintendo was Square was Nintendo's first girlfriend or something like that.
Right. But then again, I mean,
Sony was the other woman.
Right. Exactly. It's weird, right? Because like Final Fantasy is always to everybody. It's the home of Sony, right? And then any other series is up in the air for whatever it is. I think new games with a retro feel is always going to be Nintendo. That's when we got Octopath Traveler.
Yep.
Right.
The Crystal Chronicles remastered coming out later.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. But I think it's coming for PS4 also now. I think so. I could be wrong. Let me know. Look it up. But even in the handhelds, like if it's anything that's handheld kind of graphically, that's Square going to that. Because let me put it like this: the main entries to Final Fantasy are always going to be Sony. Any side Final Fantasies, Crystal Chronicles, Adventures, and all that stuff, it's always Nintendo. Right. Okay, cool. And so it's such a weird relationship because here's Xbox, and I have an episode I'm doing in the future of this fall of the story about Xbox in Japan and talk about why are they not getting along.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Xbox and Japan aren't getting along?
Yeah, like why like Japan, like exclusive games, just games were not working on that console.
They never liked Xbox. They never liked Microsoft.
But think about it, like, and like that's why we need to do an episode of it. But remember the 360, you had the three big ships coming in, right? Lost Odyssey, Eternal Sonata, and Blue Dragon.
Yeah.
Infinite Undiscovery.
Yep. Yeah. So, but those didn't do quite as well, you know. Oh, and Tales of Vesperia.
Yeah.
So Tales. Yeah. Here's
it's
this stuff.
funny because Eternal Sonata finally made its way onto Sony's PS3,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Which that's an underrated game, but it's very easy.
which I jumped on.
Yeah, it's easy. It's an easy game.
Yep.
It's very easy. But I like the
360
creativity.
Yeah, the 360 was easy. I think they ratcheted the difficulty
Okay.
up in the 3. But
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great game. I wish I had finished it when I played it.
Right. But yeah, it's just funny how like Xbox is not getting a piece of that pie exclusively because Square works with Nintendo and Sony pretty well, but there's not that Square and Xbox only game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they need that. Even like Last Remnant, like that game's that game that's a game that wears you out. And when it does, you're not coming back to it.
Yeah.
But that was surprisingly dropped on Nintendo.
The
but,
grind.
But it's not coming for Xbox. It's like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Xbox really getting the shaft of some of these RPG games. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and that can part of this multiple reasons, but one of the biggest ones I think is install base. Install base. Same reason why Nintendo is making such a great decision doing the Lite at $200. You expand your install base.
Yeah.
More companies. want
I
to
would
games
agree
on the
with
system.
that. But what do you say during the Wii U era compared to the Xbox 360? Now, the install base is definitely bigger than the Wii U probably
Oh, yeah.
in Japan, right? So why they're not getting more love?
No, I'm not sure about Japan.
Not Japan. North
For
America.
Wii U, you think the Wii U install base is bigger than the Xbox 360 in that time?
In Japan,
Yeah,
yes.
I
Japan.
would challenge that because the Wii U did not do that very well in general because you didn't get a lot of Japanese games on that thing. You know what I mean? Like there was more Japanese games on the 360 than the Wii U at the, I'm sorry, let me rephrase it. RPG wise, there was more on the 360 to me than the Wii U one.
I agree with that.
Right, because the only one I can remember is Tokyo Sessions.
Oh yeah, Tokyo Sessions. Like it's
Yeah, I have
Persona
it. It's over
X5
there. I
and-
can't pronounce it. It's a long name.
Yeah.
But like, Xbox did get a bunch of stuff because actually, to tell you the truth, like the Lost Odyssey, that was okay. I told you we're not doing this, so we're moving on. I told you that. That's an see. I thought it's gonna be a good conversation episode
Yes.
to talk about like where it's going on and what's the future, because they got a big. Look, the Xbox One is going to get a huge install base. We know this. When is Square going to work with them about something? When are some of these? What is Atlas? There's no Atlas.
No.
Yeah, it's so the Wii U. I will say the Wii U has a better sales in Japan than the Xbox One. I think they've all but given up selling Xbox One in Japan.
Okay, I guess I'm counting Wii U as part of the PS3 and the 360
and
era.
I'll have to look further, but
Yeah, look
I'm
further.
I'm still going to hang my hat on the Wii U had better install base.
And you
than
probably
the
could be
360.
right. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but I'm trying to think what are the games that drew them, because whatever PlayStation had, Xbox had it too.
Wii U had whatever Wii U games that came out
On that
but-
episode. On that episode.
Yeah, all
All
right,
right.
all right,
All right.
all right. To be
All right.
continued.
All
To
right.
be continued.
Yeah. So it's going to be a good episode. It's a
It
good
will.
debate episode.
Yes.
So our last piece of news. Do you want to talk about it?
Happily. All right. So, TurboGrafx 16 Mini or PC Engine Mini has got a release date, a potential price, and a games list. And boy, I got some mixed feelings about this games list.
Mm-hmm.
So first, the nitty gritty comes out March 2020. So got plenty of time to save up money. It is estimated to be at $100 US. So you're $99.99.
Are you agreeing? Do you like that price? Do you think it should?
I have this
Because how much
with
was
mixed
okay?
feelings.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. The SNES Classic was 80.
80.
Okay,
It was 80.
Okay,
It
all
was
right.
80.
Okay,
But nearly, if not every game on there was a heavy hitter.
Was a banger.
It was a heavy hitter.
Okay.
And you had that exclusive Star Fox 2, which
Okay.
was the only place you could play it legitimately.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Question: is the Sega Mini console coming out September for?
It is coming out. I think September or November.
It has to be September, I think. That's 2 minis? Because I was going to say it's the same thing with Sega with the Dr. Wily exclusive on that thing. So there's something
the
they're adding
Wars
in.
and Darius and Tetris.
Yeah. But I think would you say the TurboGrafx stands out because like
September.
Okay. Do you think this would stand out because like not a lot of people had their hands on it? So you're going to be playing a lot of these first time.
The TurboGrafx is going to get a lot of curiosity.
Okay.
Because I remember the TurboGrafx. A lot of people who are in their 30s and older are going to remember the TurboGrafx.
Okay.
Who used to maybe owned one. Not to mention it's expensive as hell to get one if you actually want one, an original one.
Right.
A lot of the games are nearly hard to find, if not impossible, or expensive, prohibitively expensive.
Yeah.
So it's going to get the curiosity.
Yeah.
And it's going to get the nostalgia. It's going to get in my nostalgia wallet. But as far as being like NES Mini and SNES Mini, even Sega Genesis Mini, no. But it's gonna sell better than the PlayStation Mini.
Well, how much is the Sega rolling? Have they threw a price yet for that?
80, I believe. Yeah.
80, and how many are you getting? About the same amount of games? They said 40.
Yeah, you're getting 42.
Okay.
So you're getting 42 games.
And then the Turbo's doing 50, right?
Yeah, it's doing 24 North American or English language games and 26 Japanese.
Do you
games,
think only
of which there's
do you
overlap.
think only because like that's all they got? Like Sega, okay, let me put it like that. I'm not trying to diss this here, but I think about it. Like Super Nintendo has such a library, they have to pick and choose with the best one. Same thing with Sega. Turbo's library probably wasn't that big, or like.
Here's the whole thing.
Here it is.
Well, here's the thing.
You're getting almost every single game. Really. Mm-hmm. If we left anything out, it's not worth your time.
Oh, there's a lot. So here's on the list they have
because they don't have every bunk you wanted.
They have Bonk's Revenge and Air Zonk.
Okay. One of the things they said there was a lot of redone stuff. Like, okay, yeah, you got Bomberman 93, but then you got Bomberman 94
in Japanese. Yes.
Yeah, which is like Bomberman might be just enough. I guess they're saying.
I don't know
what I mean.
Bomberman was a fun game,
but is it a huge difference between 93 and 94 to you?
I have 94 on the Wii U shop. I haven't played 93 yet though.
I wonder if it's really a huge difference or it's just like enhanced better. You know what I mean?
Well, as far as the
I don't think it's the Mega Man 2, the Mega Man 3 difference.
Well, yeah, no, that's
what I'm saying. Like, whoa, this is a totally different game.
So there were commercially for the TurboGrafx, there were 685 games. Of that, I would say maybe
600.
Yeah, 685.
Wow, I am way off. I really thought it was like only 200. I am way off.
Of that, there's probably only maybe 75 to 100.
You
games
sure there's not shovelware? Just kidding.
There was probably enough. Shovelware was on every console. I'm not gonna even fight.
Now wait. Now, do you think most of those games are also multi-platform? So like,
yeah. I mean,
so do you think this list is mainly more exclusive? Okay, I lied because R-Type is not exclusive. All right, I lied.
R-Type in its true form was on the TurboGrafx. You had R-Type on the Master.
Oh, my correction.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
you know more than I do, so correct me. Correct me.
So you have the Gradius and Gradius 2 and things like that. But you also have, Snatcher. But it's the Japanese version. That's what makes me kind of sad.
What's the point? What's the point if it's the Japanese? Like, there's an English one.
Unless they do something really cool, like release a patch or something.
Dude, Snatcher's hard, man. That's a hard game to get into. I got halfway in that game. I'm like, man, I'm getting a little sleepy over here. There's a lot of reading. Kojima, man.
It's
King of cutscenes ain't giving me cutscenes.
Kojima game. Snatcher, when you played Snatcher, you knew what you were getting into when Solid came out.
That game, I wish that game got... Bob Death Stranding. If you could have remade this one in all these cutscenes, the game was a little bit ahead of its time, but it was mainly solving missions, and then it's a shooter gallery.
So what I would have liked to have seen on the TurboGrafx 16 was Legendary Axe, Splatterhouse, the Japanese Splatterhouse.
Is that the better version of all of them?
It's the one that's not censored.
Okay.
Yeah, because the censored one it's green and everything like that.
Okay.
You know? And Cosmic Fantasy.
I remember you mentioning that. That's your baby game, man. You love that game.
Working designs. Now, Kadash they're bringing Kadash, and they're bringing Lords of Thunder. I don't know if they're doing Gate of Thunder.
I don't know if Space Harrier would be a good choice. I mean,
that makes no sense why they put Space Harrier on there.
That's more of a Sega.
That is Sega's game. That is Sega's game. That's like... I mean, why would you play Space Harrier on there? That's like playing Mario Brothers on the Atari 5200. You know, there's no point.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm curious how New Adventure Island is compared to. Is that the Super Nintendo comparison one?
It's comparable as far as graphics. I heard.
Well, I'm saying like, is that the same entry? Is Super Adventure Island and New Adventure Island like
different?
Okay,
it is different.
Okay,
and
I love me some Adventure Island.
I heard New Adventure Island actually plays better. But that's
I do love me some Adventure Island.
That's hearsay. I've only played Super Adventure Island.
That's some good Hudson back there.
I was like, But
Hudson, Hudson sounds like a piece of joint. Let's go to Hudson's. Go on. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, it's better than CC's. But
those are some fighting words.
Some blasphemy, man.
There's some fighting words.
I'm sorry. CC's today.
Edmund and CC is pretty good.
I have not been to the CC.
Go to that one. I will agree. There's some bad CCs.
Yeah.
But the Edmund one's pretty good. Have you been to the Edmund one, Curtis?
Yes.
The Norman
Would you
CC
agree?
sucks.
I have kids. Yeah. We go to CC's.
Yeah, CC's is bad.
Okay.
But Blaze, they got their shooters on there. They got the shooters. They probably could have had more, but Victory Run Golf, Power Golf, Victory Run.
I don't think any sports game should be ever in a collection unless it's a fun game like a Mario arcade-ish style like that. But if it's a traditional golf game, like, you're wasting my time, you wasting this console's time, you wasting a slot that could have been used for something else.
Right.
Yeah.
I could see like a Midway collection.
Yeah, but that's like
if they had a Wii
collection over there.
Jam and
I mean,
Hang Time.
You got Newtopia and Newtopia 2 are supposed to be Zelda types.
Okay.
Your dungeon crawler, whatever, dungeon explorer is your dungeon crawler. So it's got a good mix of different types of games.
Okay.
But it's really weird they said, you know what, we're just going to pile everything.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. You said Newtopia. Here's 1 and 2, the Japanese edition. It was like,
and then you have the
like, you could have used those 2 slots for something else, right? Yeah. You know, the other 659 games you mentioned. If you correct me, don't you dare correct me on that. You know what I'm close enough.
Oh, I know.
So,
I mean, Magical Chase. Where's Magical Chase? That is one of the most expensive games that exists. and
that would be.
It would have been slam dunk.
That is the opportunity of these minis, is to play the games that you could not afford.
Yeah, unless you emulate.
So individually, yeah. So this is the opportunity for that.
And they're like, no, we're not going to do that. So.
Okay, so my last question for you, Turbo Expert, is what would make this $100 worth to you?
What would make it $100? Second, make sure it comes with, the TurboGrafx, it was only 1 slot for a controller.
Okay.
You could only plug in 1 controller. You had to get a Turbo Tap for multiplayer. They're selling that separately. They're selling controllers.
I need that button. I need that button that's
right. And doesn't even have an AC adapter. You have to get an AC adapter separately. What the hell is that? I know I say it almost every show, but you can wipe a monkey's ass with that type of logic.
We're gonna get you a T-shirt. We're gonna get a T-shirt.
But yeah,
on the front it's gonna be everything that annoys you, and on the back it's gonna say that motto. Yeah.
But yeah, to make it $100. First off, you need to make it no overlap. There's way too much overlap on those titles.
There is. There's too many. There's too many. Too many clones.
It's too much. You don't need 4 Newtopias.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, why?
Salamander, which Gradius 1, 2, and Salamander, unnecessary. You know why? Because the NES and the NES Mini did Gradius better.
Isn't it weird? There's only 1 bunk. Couldn't that slot be open for more bunks?
Technically, there's 2 bunks if you count Air Zonk in that. But yeah, they should have had the Bonk trilogy: Bonk's Adventure, Bonk's Revenge, and Bonk.
I am excited for Alien Crush because I like that pinball game.
Yeah, but
the Sega one is hard.
Yeah, why didn't they have both Crush games? Devil's Crush.
See, I didn't know Devil Crush was on Turbo.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was.
Okay.
Yeah, and some people were bitching and moaning about Fighting Street or the original Street Fighter not being on there. It's like,
Huh.
why?
I'm okay.
I'm
okay.
Like, nobody's missing anything.
Now,
Nobody's
if there was a
missing
Turbo
anything.
fighting game exclusive, I think that would just be fun just for history.
Yeah, TurboGrafx was not known for his fighting games. That's for certain.
By the way, I'm thinking, is Eternal Champion on the Sega Mini? If it is,
It is.
Oh, that's history.
It shouldn't have been the Sega CD, unless it was a Sega CD version. It shouldn't be on there.
Yeah, but it's such a such a terrible game. But it's a history. That's the reason why. It's a history of how not to do. Eternal Champion is the handbook of not to do a game like this.
Right? There were so many bad '90s fighting games trying to capture Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. It's hilarious.
We need to do an
a
episode.
Show. That's a show.
We need to do an episode of that.
But I will say, and any game here. My memories of most games from the 80s and 90s come down to, was I pissed when I rented it, or was I happy to rent it again? So, but yeah, no. To make this $100, no overlap, second controller.
So the real question is, Jaron Williams.
Yes.
Are you still going to get this when it comes out?
I am on the fence.
Okay.
I am on the fence. I'll probably put the pre-order down on Monday.
Okay.
Amazon Prime for Prime Day. You can pre-order it early.
Okay.
I'll put the pre-order and I'll sit and I'll wait and I'll think about it.
Okay.
But whatever.
But you gonna get that Sega Mini, right? I want that Sega Mini, man.
I'm on the fence. I'll pre-order and then I'll cancel it and then I'll pre-order it again. I'm not sure because I don't know.
Well, I think it comes down to one more other person. Curtis, TurboGrafx. Does this interest you?
No.
Gotcha. Done. Done.
No.
Okay,
Dragon Quest
Curtis.
on there, man.
One last question. If you had to pick up a mini as of right now, so you have the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Sega's coming out, the Turbo, the Turbo.
PlayStation.
Well, we know Turbo's gone. PlayStation now. Which one would you want to get?
Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Right on.
All right. Cool. So, speaking of that game coming out in fall, there's a bunch of video games coming out this fall.
So many.
Right. So much that we don't have too much time, but I do still want to talk a little bit about it. I know we're about an hour, 30 minutes, but I do want to take an extra 10 minutes, really talk about some of the games that we talked about. So this will be a long episode, but I promise you it'll be worth your time. So, guys, what games are you feeling out here that just shout out at you? Curtis, what are you feeling, man?
The Star Wars Jedi game is at the top of my list.
Okay. Jedi Order, right?
Yes, the
Okay.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Okay.
Big fan of what I saw at E3. Really into that kind of Uncharted, Force Unleashed look that it's going for. I like the little droid that that hangs on his back. Want to see more of that. Curious if they have the Jedi mind trick in it, because that was such a fun mechanic from Force Unleashed.
Did you see the full video they brought out, the 45 or 26 minutes?
No.
Okay, so apparently, like, what we saw wasn't really the full how the game is, because they said it's supposed to be like a Metroidvania kind of style.
Okay.
Kind of thing. You got the Uncharted part right, but they said, like, it's an open place, but you're going to one place to another and back and forth and all this stuff. So, like, the video shows more, and people were debating on it. Were having this huge division about why didn't you care to show that instead of the one we saw?
Yeah.
Because the Uncharted one, and that video shows the part where he's riding that ATT.
Yes.
That video. Because the video we saw first was them he's going through the hallways and just knocking out. But yeah, that video shows him climbing up the AT, fighting the person inside. Whatever you saw in that trailer, that's that full video from that.
Okay.
So if you really want to see how it fully looks like, then definitely check it out. And so, because one of the things I was having an issue with that was, in the game, kind of the video showed a little bit more, but it felt a little bit too easy to defeat the enemies.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're swinging a damn lightsaber.
Yeah, but they have to find some way to counter that so you don't be a walking killing machine. Then it's not fun.
Well, I like the fact that they had certain enemies that were trained to
fight
against Jedi. Yeah, so
Yes.
you had to kind of think differently. But stormtroopers are
They're
the ultimate
fodder.
cannon fodder. You were supposed to chop through those
They're
guys.
Yeah, that's
they're-
true. It's true. That's why you have the different colors. If you have the red one, but anyone that's
Yeah.
not white, be fearful of.
Yeah, and you have the creatures, the giant spider creatures. And stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I wonder if you're gonna fight any Jedi, any Siths in this thing.
I mean, if they make it to where it's canon, they have to be careful because it's still between episodes.
Well,
Was it
okay.
the Inquisitors from?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say
Rebels?
I don't see where they cannot just make up a Sith and then he just dies in the game.
No, they can have the Inquisitor. They established the Inquisitors are canon with.
Well, I mean, still they could just make up a Sith.
Not
Doesn't
only
matter.
that, Palpatine had hands. He had
Yes.
several.
Yes, he has several hands of the Emperor.
I'm just saying, like, you don't have to have that organization. You can have a Sith in there regardless.
Or dark side or force sensitive.
Yeah, as long as they,
Darksider.
yeah, because like, I mean, it's like this kid is nowhere to be found. They just made this kid up, right?
Yes.
For this particular game. So why not just you can make up stuff as long as if it's connecting well enough and these characters are not going to carry over because we don't know where this kid is going to happen. We don't know where this game is going to end, where this kid carry over or if he's going to be mentioned later in the other sagas or anything like that. He could be a one and done and then he moves on.
Every game in media that comes out, it seems to make me feel more and more that Order 66 was not as devastating as it was made out to be. It's like, man, there's Jedi surviving all over the place. But yeah, that's a sidebar. So, but yeah, I agree. Jedi Fallen Order looks interesting.
I wonder if they took some of the blueprint from the cancel game 1313 that got
Possibly.
canceled.
Maybe.
Because that one has so much potential. It looks so good.
What are your-
got inspiration from Force Awakens, or not Force Awakens?
You're talking about
Force Unleashed?
Force
Yeah,
Unleashed.
you're talking about
Thank
Force
you.
Unleashed. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's your opinions on Death Stranding?
That's the thing. I can't put a finger on it. I don't. I think. Okay, if I could be brutally honest, I think this is a game that's gonna lose control.
Okay.
I think it's getting to a point where like he's going too big.
Too much Kojima.
I don't think he can handle it. The fact that a lot of people are talking about like, man, this game's coming out pretty quick.
November.
It's
I
been
believe,
in development for
isn't
2
it?
years. Was it 2 or two
No,
and a
it's
half?
been like 3 or 4.
In 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah, because they announced it like about
2015.
Yeah, they announced it some years ago with that weird.
Well, they announced that they were doing a studio, but we never got the first video until like 2 years.
Gameplay. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like we saw a
A
video,
trailer, yeah.
and then we saw another trailer, and then we got some gameplay, and now the game's coming out. Now I don't know. I'm more worried about that. The story is just going to get a little bit too, and it's Kojima. It's going to be weird. I get that.
It's going to feel itself too much.
Yeah. I just think it's going to. I think people shouldn't get too hyped.
One of the motion captured actresses, Lindsay Wagner, she was the Bionic Woman back in the 60s. They de-aged her.
Okay.
And when I was watching the trailer, I swear to God, I know who that woman is. Because I saw the character model, and my mom saw it, like, oh, that's the Bionic Woman. She's old, though. It's like,
She's so old.
We have the money. We can rebuild her.
Yes. Death Stranding, the way they've done it, I don't know if it's intentional or not. It's so obscure. Nobody knows how hyped to get for it. There's more like a morbid curiosity. It's like, what is this? Like, what?
I'm just going to buy it and see what it is.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we've seen these elements since Metal Gear Solid 3, I want to say, or maybe 2, where it just started getting really paranormal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially 4 definitely demonstrate that.
Yeah.
And all that.
3
and,
dug into the weirdness.
and Phantom
too.
Menace. Phantom Menace is a great example of that.
The Phantom Pain? Yeah.
Phantom Pain.
Yeah,
Phantom
it-
Menace.
It's like, oh,
Dang.
that's a different level
Clock
of
me off.
supernatural.
Clock me off. I'm too much into Star Wars.
But no, I mean, Kojima and his writing always has a fascination with the war and ghosts and spirits and blending that Japanese culture with the Western sensibilities.
I just hope he doesn't get I hope on ratings he doesn't get a slide because it's Kojima. I hope it comes out as a good game. But my fear is I think he's buying more off than he can chew.
This is make or break time for him because everybody so far he's got all the heat from everybody because Konami did you dirty. All right, now's your chance to show
But
everybody.
that's the thing. Look at the pattern. Every person that left the studio to do their own thing, taking a franchise that they love, it's been kind of iffy. Inafune, Mighty Number 9 is a perfect example of that. Apparently, it shows that maybe he can't do it without Capcom helping and putting some influence into it. The Castlevania, Bloodstain's doing okay.
Yeah,
it's doing okay.
It's doing all right.
It's okay, but it's not like you're not feeling like, man, he never needed Konami. It never had that feel.
No,
you know what I mean?
Like, he's doing all right. He's doing okay.
He's doing okay. You know, the Switch is not getting the best look, but
no, but they did address they're going to fix it.
Yeah.
Little by little.
So like, it's kind of on the right direction. Kojima is the same category. Can you do this without Konami backing you up on money and stuff? Can you do this?
There's a reason studios do what they do. They kind of have to take all these ideas, throw in all these ideas. It's like, all right, well, let's trim some of this off. Let's trim some of this off. Let's get this cohesive. You know,
because you have to put a little bit of a. I'm not trying to be a dick, but you have to put a little bit of leash on Kojima. Kojima has such a huge fast fantasy and creativity that he's not thinking like, well, how much? What is money? kind of feel, you know what I mean? Who could put a price on my creativity? Like, well, apparently we can.
Look like Curtis. You look like,
we made an engine for you. We made a Fox engine for you. So you tell me. And so, it's one of those I have to sit back and just watch. It is. He knows how to get people talking.
Yeah,
it is a conversation.
The last game that really interests me, Concrete Genie. Comes out in Q3, Q4. It's for the PlayStation 4. I think it's an exclusive. You play as this little kid in this open world, and you spray paint.
I remember you showing me that.
Showed,
yeah.
You spray paint.
Finally got a date, huh?
Familiars, and they come to life, and they help you navigate through the city. Depending on what color of paint you use, like let's say you use a red paint, well, the entity is going to be fire-based. If it's yellow, it's going to be lightning or electrical. And I don't know, it just... I am an absolute sucker for indie games.
Me too.
And
me too.
Just something different. Like, any developer, small or large, just taking a shot out in the dark, like, this hasn't been done before. Let's try it. I will give you my time.
Going off the reservation, saying Mech Warrior 5, I kind of want to see what they do with this.
Yes.
Okay.
Mech Warrior game.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's a sleeper. I haven't heard anything from them.
Yeah, I was griping about Mech Warrior. I miss Mech Warrior, and we'll see if they can recapture the magic.
Yeah, because the spiritual six are still going on PlayStation. Hawking,
is it really?
Yeah, it's still going.
Oh,
still free to play.
Coming out on August 27th is Control. It's from the
Control. That's
creators
up there for me.
Of Max Payne.
Yes, and Remedy just now bought the publishing rights for Alan Wake, so they got it back.
Yes.
So we don't know what's going on with that. That might not mean anything.
Oh, and you guys remember Until Dawn?
Yes.
So.
They're doing that anthology.
Dark Pictures Man of Medan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll believe when I see it. That's a big, tall cup
ambitious.
to drink. Yeah.
Yeah. Brandy basically ordered me to get that. So
okay.
I gotta get it.
But no. I'm high. I am high for that. That game. So.
I loved Until Dawn. I want to see what else.
Oh, not that one.
Oh. Okay.
The one before.
Oh.
Control.
Yeah. Sorry, we went so many steps. We haven't.
Yeah, there's so much. Astral Chain, Daemon X Machina.
Yeah,
so much.
Okay, stop. Astral Chain is what I'm hype up about. That comes in August. I'm very, very hype about that. I think I'm a Platinum fan. People probably know by now. Platinum does make some misses when it comes to licensed games. We've seen that with Legend of Korra and Team Ninja Turtles, which Team Ninja Turtles feel like that, but I think Activision put too many no, do this kind of thing.
I didn't even know about Legend of Korra that Platinum did it until after the fact, and now you can't even get Legend of Korra anymore.
That's a good thing.
It's digital, and it's not available. They pulled it.
I have it
anymore.
And I think they pulled the Turtles too.
Treasure it.
I do.
They pulled the Turtles too because you can't buy it digitally.
What's so funny about Platinum is even their most average games are still halfway decent.
Yeah. Their worst is still pretty damn good.
Korra got a lot of flack, but it's so visually pleasing and it's very fun to play.
Yeah, and you can only get it digitally, so if you don't have it...
Yeah. So I like Astral Chains because it's Platinum being Platinum, and I think they said they're using a lot of influence from their previous title into this one. So I'm very excited about that. Outer World, I'm excited. I'm ready to go back and play a good Fallout style influence game.
I'm curious, but I'll just see how it is.
I think it's going to be fun. Especially, Obsidian is the ones that did New Vegas, which people say is their favorite. So if it's that formula, I'm going to like that. Of course, Borderlands 3 is up there for, I think, almost everybody. I think that's going to be the game of the month for everybody for that year, for that month.
Maybe.
You think so?
Well, I mean, now that all that BS drama about, Randy Pitchford and everything's dying down, people may come back to it.
Well, I'm trying to think, is there any other title that can take the throne for Borderlands 3 for September that's not a console?
For September, that is not console?
Yeah. That's the what I'm talking about. I think like there's a bunch of games like Link Awakening is good. It's not going to take that throne.
I mean, for that's not a console. I would hope Mech Warrior could, but it probably won't because it doesn't have the.
People probably don't. You just now mentioned. No, you mentioned that right now. It's probably people saying like, "There's a Mech Warrior coming out." Yeah, that's probably those people right now.
So yeah, but when you add that qualifier PC, it's like okay, yeah, all right.
I know you're excited for Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal. I actually. So there's so many games coming out. I've actually had to start canceling some of my pre-orders because
gotta do what you gotta do.
To pick and choose. It's not that I couldn't if I really wanted to get them all. It's just that they're not. Doom Eternal's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
it's not.
Doom Eternal's not going anywhere. You know, if I ever choose to get on the PC or whatever, Gears 5, Death Stranding's not going anywhere. Wolfenstein Youngblood that's out. That's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these games aren't going anywhere.
But that's the thing about some gamers. Gamers want to be the first one on the block. Especially, it makes sense if you're a reviewer.
Yep.
Yes, and I haven't started losing my mind and reviewing games yet, but I've had to trim down. I was like, okay, no more than 2 games a month because there's at least 3 or 4 games coming out every month.
Dude, that's just part of life, man. If if you're not at least single or you have a good loving wife that understands your struggle, like reviewing games itself is almost a full-time job.
Reviewing them
and money.
Yes, especially you're not getting those review codes and everything from companies.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's sounds like we need to go ahead and start our little review.
Baby steps, dude. Baby steps, man. I gotta get sponsored and get paid to do that.
I know. You gotta get his aid.
Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm excited about.
That still didn't get a solid release date.
No, I'm thinking it's gonna be Halloween. They need to stop with the BS and just do this. Maybe they're waiting to do a Nintendo Switch Lite edition for Luigi's Mansion.
There's so much they could do with Nintendo Switch Lite, and people would eat it up. Special exclusive edition,
right?
You know, you got Medieval, the remastered version.
I guess I'm not into that one. I should be. That sounds like a game up my alley. I'm just not.
It was cool. I didn't like it. I only played a little bit of it, but it's not a bad game. It wasn't for me. Of course, Pokemon in November.
Oh yeah, like there are certain games you have to be out of the way of, and Pokemon is one of those. Like, don't you date anywhere near that because they want that Black Friday.
They're getting November 15th, and then Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is November 15th. Shenmue 3 is November 19th.
Shenmue.
Oh,
man,
yeah. Doom Eternal's November 22nd.
Right. Now, Monster Hunter Iceborne expansion is coming out in September, and they announced it's the last of it, which you're not even going to milk that?
Oh, those of you that did not get on Catherine the first time around, Catherine Full Bodies.
I need to get on that.
Yes, especially
I wish I came over the Switch. Edition. Feels like a Switch now. Your Contra. Now, your Contra Rogue Corpse is coming out.
That's the one I had to go ahead and cancel. I'll probably circle back around and get it.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm getting a Catherine Full Body. That's more for Brandy than for me. She beat Catherine on the PS3, but this one has
that's
expanded
incredible.
She's trying to downplay it. I was like, no, baby, I couldn't get past this certain level. You hammered through it.
Yeah,
like she got all the way to the true ending.
What?
Yes.
Good for her.
She's like, oh, I don't really gain much. I'm like, shut up. You good.
Now Bartell's 4.
So I need to go back and get the Bard's Tale that came out for the 360 because that was actually a fun game and I never finished it.
Okay, so we got to wrap up, but so I have one question: if you can pick one game for that fall, only one game, and nothing else, what would be that game?
Dragon's Quest XI Definitive Edition.
Huh? You made that sound really challenging at first. You're like,
that's
tough.
Quick.
Dragon Quest. No, like what?
I do like Dragon's Quest, and I want to actually finish one. And this.
And you can stop avoiding my Facebook.
There you go. I see your post, and I just scroll real fast past it.
Good damn it, Curtis.
I think for me, probably Borderlands 3, just for the longevity.
Really?
Yeah, because that's gonna be a long game. Borderlands is not a short game. Those are long. Especially I'm playing Borderlands 2 now, like I mentioned, and the game itself is pretty long. With the DLC, I don't even want to tell you, but Borderlands 3 feels like it's going to be the one for the long. It was that or Control.
Okay.
I like Astral Chain, but Astral Chain is not one of those games like for the whole time and nothing else. Like, no. It got to be a game I can be satisfied going through, and I think it's either Control.
It's killer.
What?
It gets killer reviews. I don't know. You might rethink
I'm a
it.
sucker. But I can't remember the last time I paid a $60 game.
True.
It's tough, but Nintendo don't break down.
No,
I don't break down. So if I get it, I'm dropping $60.
Yeah, that Nintendo price. Unless that's the only reason I've been reserving games. I have been the Best Buy. I've been getting 20% off of them.
Good for you.
So
Nice.
it's a lot easier to swallow 47.
Shoot, I still need to get the Bayonetta collection.
God, I've been going to GameStop every paycheck, putting $10 down on 7 every 2 weeks.
You need to start going to GameStop and do some Amazon.
Don't worry, GameStop might stop being around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So enjoy
they're
it.
worth $5 a share right now.
And hurry up and get those games out of there before they disappear.
No, for real. Now's the time for those who are listening. Get your PS3 and Xbox 360 and Wii games.
But with that, sorry, but this show has to fall short because we got to end this, okay? And so it's been a long episode. I want to thank everybody for listening for this one. This was a nice, relaxing episode for us.
Yes.
We did talk about a lot from gaming, but I felt like it was a catch-up. I feel like the first part was like we need to catch up on gaming that we haven't talked for a while. It's been a busy couple weeks because we had E3. We had to go back to 1993. You know, do some time traveling and stuff like that. But I want to thank everybody for listening. But remember, you can listen to our show on, of course, Podbean, Spotify, YouTube, and iTunes. Just make sure you type in the In-Game Boss program and enjoy all the rest of our shows. And some of the updates, we are now on Ocean 11. The 2001 edition for the When Jeremy Met nominated a movie podcast. So, and if you haven't listened to our last one, which got a lot of good hits, thank you so much for supporting it. It was the Shadow Talk, and that was a fascinating conversation because there was a lot of fun history talk about that movie and just fun picking at it. Yeah. But the Ocean one was really good because that's one of Nam Tran. Shout out to Nam Tran. That's one of his favorite movies of all time. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, he loves that movie. You listen to it, you'll hear it. You'll hear it. It's a fun conversation, especially some of the questions. Yeah, we had a really good question. If we can recast certain members, who would be the Danny? That was a fantastic conversation. That was the lucky of a draw. We're like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be an awesome pick. Yeah. You'll have to hear some of our picks. I don't know if Curtis agrees on some of the picks that we had on there. Like, I don't know. Like, I'll give you a clue. Denzel Washington got mentioned. But I can't tell you who I thought he would be as.
I'd have to trade him out for Idris Elba.
You'll have to listen and find out. So, but Bond, like I said, Bond is coming back. So, of course, of that, and then we got our next arcade game where we're going to be taking flight. I believe it's Pro Gear, if I'm correct.
Pro Gear.
Capcom's one of his flying games, which you have to hear what we have to talk about. I think we talk about our favorite fly simulators or fun airborne games or something like that.
Yes, I may mention Star Fox. I'm not sure.
I think you. Oh, I think so. I think so. And so, but with that, thank you so much, and we will catch you on our next episode.
Thanks.